take a second and imagine a place filled with all the zip of Nuka Cola. And then imagine that place scaled down considerably to a much smaller size, dragged through the dirt a little bit, and spat out in the wasteland. That's what we're making today, everyone. A much smaller version of Nuka World, the Nuka Bar-Cade. And where are we making at? Well, none other than the Natick Power Plant. Now, if you can't tell already, the Natick Power Plant looks a little bit different than the last time we looked at it. Let's see, what could it be? That's what it is. The desert. That's right. I'm using the Dustbowl mod to make this Nuka Bar-Cade out in the Natick Power Plant, so everything looks like a desertish hellhole. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Now honestly I did that because I felt like Nuka World by itself looked a little bit more like a desert type than the Commonwealth, and thought it fit a little bit better. So we'll see how it turns out. Alright, I think it's time that we start building a new home here in the capital wasteland for Bottle and Cappy. So let's strap on our construction gear, get on our hard hats, and let's get straight to building. Because we ain't got much time. It's the wasteland, you never know. There could be death waiting right around the corner. But man, I hope not. Anyway, let's get straight into it, shall we? We got a lot to do. So as per usual, what I'm going to do is basically walk through some of the design elements I chose to make when I was building the Bar-Cade. And as you can see already, just starting off, I've already come in and made a little bit of the area. And I've also gone into this already knowing kind of what I want to do. And I did that mostly so that it'll be much easier to build this and go over a lot quicker. Because honestly, one of the most frustrating things to me is going to build a video and not knowing what I'm doing and just having to redo things over and over again. Because, you know, it's not fun for me to do, and it can be fun to watch. So, I said I came into this with a little bit of a vision, and that is partially true, but only to a little bit of an extent. For example, that building, that little room you see right there that I just built, I don't have much of an idea of what I want to do with that yet, but I knew I wanted to put something there because it was a perfect little spot, and I wanted to make as much use of the room that I have inside the building as possible. And what I wanted to do with the stairs to the upper floor was make a platform that could possibly go on top of another room to kind of utilize the space. So I cut out a little bit of the build there because I had issues getting the flooring to fit, and it took me a really long time. What I'm doing now is making the actual bar itself, because it is a barcade, so I mean, you know, you gotta have some kind of bar type elements here. And I did know that I wanted this to be the bar going into it, so it was pretty easy to decide what to do here. That being said, as you can see, I have quite a bit of trouble getting these walls to fit in with the warehouse ceilings being so low towards the corners. So what I end up doing is playing around with a lot and kind of changing things up, and the end result is a bit of a hodgepodge of flooring. But it honestly turns out pretty well, I think, because like usual, the design isn't exactly normal, I'd say. And I think that fits in really well with the design elements I like to go for, where everything is kind of mixed-matched and you don't really know what's gonna come up. What I wanted to do here was make the area where you order drinks at the bar into one of these little windows, so you can walk up and get your drinks and your food and such, and everyone that's working there can just stay inside and keep cooking or preparing drinks, that sort of thing. And I'll kind of show the entrances a lot more later on, but the building does have multiple entrances, some of which are more for employees, some are for guests and patrons, and I will show how I distinguish between those later. So now that the bar itself is pretty much done, what I want to go and do next is kind of work on the front entrance. And or sorry, this is not the front entrance, this is the rear entrance, which does not exist. So as you saw there, I kind of blocked up that entrance because I didn't want people to come in that way. I wanted that to be kind of the back of the barcade where the actual bar was. And after I do that, just get that blocked off, I decided to go up and do the upper floors. Now I say upper floors because, as you can see, what I'm doing is after knocking out that one wall, going out and extending the upper level out more. And after I get this part of the build done, I actually put in stairs that makes another level above that. Because what I envisioned this being was kind of like a really scrappy exterior that looked like it had multiple levels just jutting out here and there, and just making it a really unique design. And like before, what I did first was come in and, you know, without recording, just place down all my walls and my walls I mean in my floors and everything, just to get a general idea of what I want to do, and then delete it all and go back and rebuild it. And the first iteration I had of this was way bigger. It went up further onto this roof I'm on now, and it just did not look right. Now what I'm thinking is that once I've had some time to look at this settlement a bit more and build Natick Power Plant up more, I might come back in the future and revisit the Nuka Bar-Cade and add more rooms and floors and such onto it, but for now it serves its purpose. As you can see, what I'm doing now is just trying to get some of these walls, the holes in the walls, covered up, because I really didn't like the way that the walls were kind of blasted out like that. I mean, if you have kids upstairs in the arcade, you don't want to worry about them falling off of the roof through one of the holes in the walls. So I kind of boarded it up a little bit. I did want to keep the original walls though, because I like the scrappy look. And what I'm doing now is just going back and adding a lot of finishing touches. Now I'm adding these finishing touches before I actually do the decorating, and as per usual, some of it does change while I'm doing the decorating. So just kind of keep an eye out on things like that bar area that I just blocked off over there. I'll actually add a floor to that so it'll look a little bit different. So now we're coming up to the end of what I wanted to show in the build, which is the side entrance. I did cut out a lot of the building because this is a really large structure for me, and the building took a really long time, so I didn't want the video to be like 40 minutes long. So hopefully I show just enough that you get an idea of everything. But if there's anything you're curious about that I did that you'd like me to explain things on, please let me know and I'll be happy to explain it. So now the build is part of the video is pretty much over, and as per usual, we're going to go into the tour and you'll get a look at the final Nuka Bar-Cade. And as usual, I've just got some finishing remarks afterwards, and that'll be it. So let's take a look. Alright, there you have it. The Nuka Bar-Cade sitting right in Natick Power Plant. I want to know your thoughts on this one. I mean, this one took me forever, but it's always been something I've wanted to do, and I'm honestly so proud of how it came out. I know the tour was insanely long, but it seriously took me so long to make, and there's so many little details I wanted to show off. Yeah, I mean, it really came together really well, I think. I tried to add as many elements from both Nuka World and just the Nuka Cola theme in general, without being too overwhelming. I don't know how well I did on that front. I tend to go a little bit overboard on decorations sometimes, but I really hope that it all fits together pretty well. As you could see from the tour, I added pretty much everything I could think of that like a mini Nuka World could need. Everything from the bar itself with the drinks and food to the arcade machines, even the separate restrooms, which, trust me, I know, having the windows right there, a little creepy. I understand. If I come back to it, I'll probably block those up a little bit so you're not, you know, doing your business and someone comes up outside and it's like, oh, look, someone's taking a piss. Anyway, so we got that. We got the pharmacy, or not the pharmacy, the first aid station. And, I mean, what else? What more do you need? The security up on the roof with their watchtowers so they can keep an eye on the front and see who's coming up, what's rolling in, take out those darn Mirelurks if they show up, or more accurately, Deathclaws. Man, who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Nuka Bar-Cade. Another area of Natick Power Plant done. Like I said, I'm really proud of this one. I really think it turned out really well. I want to know what you think. Do you think this is a pretty good Nuka Bar-Cade, a good Commonwealth version of Nuka World? Obviously, it's tiny by comparison, but I did what I could. Alright, so that's enough from me. As usual, I hope you have a good one. Thanks so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it, and I really hope you liked it. Here's another video of mine that YouTube thinks you might like, so, you know, if you want to, take a look. Or don't. Also totally up to you. Your call. Anyway, I'll leave you alone, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I see you around. Bye!